Hello, Star Wars and Unboxing fans. Welcome to DarthTuba's live unboxing show. I'm doing it live today for two reasons. Number one, things are getting very hectic, and I'm not getting a lot of time to edit my videos down, so we might be running some live shows for the next couple of episodes. So I hope you guys can tune in if we get some live viewers. I know I have a small subscriber list compared to others, so that might not happen, but that's okay. If anybody pops in, great. Otherwise, we will just post it on the site and people can watch it after the fact. So for today's unboxing, I have a few items, most of which were from the little toy run that I did the other day in Philadelphia, and I'm really excited. In fact, I'm wearing one of them now. Okay, so I can get it up a little bit higher here. May the Force be with you. If you didn't know that this meant force, this is the equation for force. Neither did I. It's okay. Music teacher, not science teacher. But anyway, although many of my students are very, very good at it, so they would know. But anyway, so that was one thing. This was at the Franklin Institute, and they still have a lot available. Anybody in the East Coast Philly area, and it was on sale, so that was really cool too. And I have a lot of other items that came out that day. So why don't we just kind of go through them, kind of remind everybody where they came from, and then we'll go from there. Oops, I just knocked over one of them. And then we have our Major Von Reg from the, get a nice close-up here. Okay, since we're not really going to be putting close-ups in these shots, I want to make sure we do that. This is from the Star Wars Resistance, which, and oh, we do have one viewer, cool. I don't think I have a listing here of who's coming up, or I don't have it set up for that. So this is from, of course, Star Wars Resistance, which just ended its season. And I have to say, I was pretty impressed with the ending of the season. It tied into Force Awakens beautifully, and it kind of left things in a question mark. So there's definitely, it turns out for those, well, I don't want to talk about it too much. Go watch it. I will tell you that a lot of the story, a lot of the episodes are very, very, for lack of a better word, childish in nature. Okay, kind of juvenile humor and slapsticky humor and that type of thing. But the ending, definitely, the last few episodes definitely kind of switched gears, and that was in pretty good shape. So there he is. There's Major Von Reg. I think I'm actually going to keep his thing here. I can definitely. Oops, sorry, my thing came out there. I think the Resistance figures are definitely something that years down the road I'm probably going to forget the name of them. So I keep the names and I keep them with the figures and I put them in display with that. So we do okay with that. We have two more Resistance figures to get through. We've got Commander Pyre, okay, which is very similar in a lot of respects to Major Von Reg. Major Von Reg is a pilot. Commander Pyre is more of a, he's kind of like a Captain Phasma, like, kind of a representative from the First Order. Pretty cool character. By the end of the season, I don't want to give up again, not too much with spoilers, but by the end of the season, the First Order was definitely tipping their hand as to their intentions. Because we all know the First Order is kind of nefarious, so. This was a great thing. I do love how it's essentially, in a lot of ways, a Captain Phasma figure that they just painted gold. But I don't really mind. A lot of people complain about that, but I feel like we've got this whole series of figures is definitely a new style, okay, which adheres to the animated style. So I don't mind if a couple of them may appear to have some repaints of things like Captain Phasma. Although now that I look at it, if you look closely, I'm going to try to get a real close-up shot here. See, if you can see without getting too blurry, these stormtroopers, man, they have a much, more evil-looking face. In fact, one of the characters calls them frowny faces. And man, you see that? That's definitely the case. So, really cool Commander Pyre. And lastly, but not leastly, and I don't think I was looking, I could not find it. I have to look at my previous episodes. But we have Kaz, or Kaz Ziono, okay, and cool character. A little childish and slapsticky at first, but definitely kind of switched gears a little later on in the episode, so that was cool. And these weapons are hard to get to. I have to use a paper box cutter to pry them open here. Jeez. There we go. That's better. And then these guys. Oh, yeah, gotta make sure I keep his name. Curious to see what's gonna happen now, like the next season, and how if the next season is gonna tie into Last Jedi. It's gonna, because if you think about the fact that the Resistance kind of gets. Right, here's what the character looks like without the helmet. Pretty cool. And let's put the helmet on him. Kind of like the helmet. Kudos to Hasbro for proper helmet technology. So it's kind of turning side. There we go. That allows you to actually put helmets on as opposed to... Sometimes they do just face swaps. You take the face off. But I kind of like to have it all in. And I'm not a big fan of... When it comes to action figures, both the 3 3/4 inch and 6 inch, I'm not a huge fan of having multiple hand holding, multiple types of heads, because then you have to store all of that other stuff. I'd like to have something that can fit on one figure with all of their attachments and accessories with them, and that's kind of how I feel. Now with the bigger ones, like with Sideshow, Hot Toys, that I can understand. If they want to have different things, or a Gentle Giant and the statues, if they want to do something different. But for the Black Series and for the 3 3/4 inch and the 6 inch and the 3 3/4 inch, I just feel like, yeah, we don't really need that. Speaking of 6 inch, speaking of Black Series, I'm so excited to show you these. These are the archive figures, and this is the way they come. I have to say, I'm a bigger fan. I prefer this method. I do understand that from a storage perspective, if you're keeping things on the card, the boxed version is a better setup. But I'm not a fan of the box art. I'm not a fan of the box storage of it. And what most people do, inevitably, is just line them up sideways as if you're having a library of figures. What good is that? You can't even see the figures. They're on the side. All you see is the numbers, when they have them. So this is... the new way that they do at least for the archival series, and this IG-88 is one of the bounty hunters that I did not get, so I'm excited that they are re-releasing this figure. Also, I'd like to say, speaking of IG-88, I saw an image, and I'm sure a lot of Star Wars fans out there would have seen it too, of, name's escaping me, but the gentleman who directed Thor Ragnarok, who also is directing an episode of The Mandalorian. Oh, this is cool. He's got like a nice little way to put his sword in there. That's neat. Anyway, this person, Taiki, I think his name is, he put out an image, or there was an image put out of him actually voicing a character in an episode. And that looks like that character was either IG-88 or an IG series of figures. So that was really cool. I was really impressed by that. I always thought that was really cool that he might be doing that. Because he was for those who remember, who don't remember, he was the voice of Korg from Thor Ragnarok. And that was really neat. Oh, I see. This goes like that. Thank you, Hasbro, for providing us with a method to store the weapons. See, that's what I'm talking about. And this one can even, it's really cool. Maybe. I'm having trouble figuring out where it goes, but that's all right. We'll do it like that. So there is his... Now, the big question, I'm checking, you can see his head down here in the bottom. Can he stand? And the answer is yes, he can. Okay, cool. So IG-88, awesome addition to my Bounty Hunter Black Series. And I'm curious to see how an IG unit, whether it's IG-88 or not, an IG Assassin Droid unit will work in the live-action Mandalorian, because that's where you're going to see this one character. I don't know if it's IG-88 or if it's just another one. So that's it. And, of course, we have our other one that got away in the Bounty Hunter line, and that is Bosk. Bosk has made a huge appearance in the Clone Wars series, and I for one am thrilled to see him. He was such a cool looking character, but like many cool looking characters, he is somebody who, you know, was a neat image, you know, to see and to wonder what his story is, and then, you know, the things that happened after that all had to happen in an animated form. So whether they bring Bosk in a live action remains to be seen, but I kind of hope they do. It would be kind of cool to see if they can do something that's very effective. Okay, and he just has, like, I think I'm just gonna let him hold his gun in the back like that. In fact, I might even just do it like that. There we go. Now he's just holding his gun and then on his back sling there. That's the way to do it. That's how Bosk rolls. That's how Bosk rolls. And he stands without any issue. There he is. All right, he'll find a good spot on the other thing. Now, before we go on, we have a couple other things. We have this was from a vintage collectible store which I went into. I didn't take pictures other than out in the storefront on the outside because, but I gotta say that these kind of places, I hope that he does well in business, and I will try to. It's a little far from my house to get to on a weekly basis, but I do want to get in there more because it was fantastic. It was not just Star Wars, but anything from like 60s and 70s straight up through the 80s and 90s, and then even modern day stuff. Okay, like Funko Pops and things of that nature. Every inch of the store, up and down, you know, high ceilings, just a great place to walk around. Sensory overload for sure. But this one I really liked. It's the Yoda Spirit. It glows in the dark. And this is a Walgreens exclusive. And, you know, it's funny. I have a Walgreens right near me, and they do a lot of exclusives. And I just keep forgetting to go check it out because, but this one was not, you know, I don't think the exclusives are all that rare. I just think that they just happen to be exclusive to Walmart. So there's Mr. Yoda, glowing in the dark. I don't know if I can demonstrate that. Maybe I'll try later. We'll see. But added to my Funko Pops, I'm really just sticking to. I'm only buying the ones that I like, the ones that I find interesting, the ones that I think are, that, you know, the characters that resonate with me. So. Now we have a couple of other things to get to. This was something that was just purchased. I did not find this in my toy run, but got two things in here. For those of you that are big fans of both lunchboxes and trading cards, check this out. This is a Target lunchbox metal box. It's not really technically a lunchbox. It doesn't have a thermos in it, but it's just a, you know, in honor of Star Wars. It has some great things. But I want to point out, if you look closely at this imagery, okay, not that this image itself is anything, but with the little Star Wars kind of starburst right here, this definitely is a throwback to the trading cards, the vintage trading cards, Topps trading cards that came out. And if you flip it around, you get another one, even a different color. I thought that was very classy. I could not walk out of the store without this lunchbox. I thought it was really cool. What am I going to do with it? Well, I have a couple of lunchboxes, so I'll put them on display with those. It's got some pretty cool side art, some Han and Chewie, some 3PO and R2. Okay, really neat. And again, opening it up, you'll see that it's really nothing, just a metal lunchbox, but just so cool. I don't know if there's other ones, if this is the only one. Maybe people can leave comments, let me know. But I will say this, I forget, like, from having a metal lunchbox, how flimsy metal lunchboxes are. I mean, they're flimsy. The metal bends pretty easily, you know, it's crazy. All right, and lastly, another kind of a throwback item I saw. These are some vintage looking glasses that are kind of a throwback to Burger Chef or whatever, the Burger King glasses. And I just said, you know what? I've always been a fan. You know, look on some of my earlier episodes. I did those Target glass. Ooh, these are actually glass though. I did those Target glasses that came with figures, which I thought were awesome. And this, in and of itself, is pretty cool. You got this one, which, and again, this is just a kind of if you look closely, you'll see that the art is very similar to the glasses and to the lunchbox. See? But I just thought these are just so cool, such a throwback. I'm probably going to, rather than display these, I think I'm just actually going to use them. And here's another one. And I think this makes me think that, okay, they probably only have this as the art for the glasses and the lunchbox. So that leads me to believe that there are no more glasses or lunchbox, or at least none that came out yet. So that's a cool thing. Or the other thought is maybe display them in the lunchbox, but who knows? We'll see. I really like these. They have good weight to them. They are put out, both the lunchbox and this are put out by Funko. Funko's doing some amazing stuff. Check them out. I hope that they give us, Funko, if you're listening, anybody who knows Funko, send this video to them. Cereal. Yes, I know. If anybody who knows Funko knows that they have actually done cereal. They've kind of created their own cereal, like as a throwback to things like Freddy Krueger, you know, like Beetlejuice, you know, things that they kind of stick more with the cereals. They've been sticking more to a more of a horror or, you know, light horror fare. But bring back C-3POs. Bring back the old cereal. Come on. If anybody can do it, Funko can do it. I'm rooting for you. Hopefully it'll happen. All right, and then lastly is kind of a weird thing, but in that same retro store, I picked up a couple of opened newer figures, okay? Now, why did I do this? I'm not normally one to do this, but, and if you look closely at these, you'll see that they're actually both the same, well, at least the same mold. I think that they might be from different packaging. One might have been from, you know, one that you got in a carded figure, and the other one might be one that came in a like a 3-pack, but look closely. I believe this is Barada, I think, maybe. And I wanted to get these because I am on the hunt for. We have a new viewer. Hi, new live viewer. Hey, how are you? I wanted to get some things to put in the barge. Okay, so I'm looking to fill the barge with some more of the Jabba's denizens and aliens, is what's specific to the barge. So what I'd like to do is, seeing that we have these figures now, and seeing that we have a barge to put them in, why don't we take a little walk to over to the Star Wars other room that I have the barge in. Of course, those of you who have never seen this before, you will see kind of a few things maybe I probably shouldn't show you, but it's okay. So here's the barge. Okay, here it is. Oh, it's Maestro Windu. Maestro Windu's here. Yay, field trip. I like that idea. Here's the barge, Windu. Okay, there it is. I'm sorry I don't have better lighting here at the moment for live, but the thing I realized when I did my review of it is that I did not realize that there's a cockpit, or at least I forgot that there's a cockpit, and there it is. Here's the cockpit. So I'm going to have these two Barada guys. Put them in. Wish I could get more light. Well, let me look here. Let me just... Nope, don't think so. Okay, let's see. All right, let's get both my Baradas. I'm going to call these guys the twins. There they go. There they are. The dark side is too strong. Oh no, poor Luke. Poor Luke fell down. Let's fix Luke. Now, I do have to get... I do have to get Luke and Han and Chewie and Lando. I do have to get them on a... Excuse me. I do want to get them on a... What's that behind you? Behind the barge is my oil tank. Behind me. Oh, behind... Okay, well, if you want to look up there, you can see we have a couple of... I used every other space I can. I have and not an OTC collection, original trilogy collection, Millennium Falcon. It has not been opened. I will probably open it someday. A couple of other boxed items that I have yet to open. Okay, but there's the barge, and as you can see, I'm sorry again. I apologize for the low light. You can see we have a couple of denizens in there, and you can also see that we have some space here because I have a couple more things I'm going to unbox. Okay, I have a couple more items that I want to unbox on a future episode. Maybe I'll do it live. And we'll do the same thing. We'll get them all set up and placed in there. So that will do it today for the unboxing show live. Again, be sure to check out all my videos on YouTube, okay? And be aware that I drop usually on Sundays and on Wednesdays. And as I said, for the time being, because there's a lot going on in my professional world, I will most likely be running videos live, just because I don't have time to edit, but I don't want to drop my, my self-made promise or commitment to dropping 2 videos a week. So either a shelf talk or an unboxing will take place live usually on Sundays and Wednesdays at some point. Okay, so thank you so much. Check me out on Instagram and Twitter at DarthTuba, DarthTuba Star Wars Unboxing page on Facebook. I have no Patreons. I have no interest in anything like that. Maybe someday, but right now I'm just interested in sharing my love to anybody out there who wants to see it. To my 2 or 3 live viewers today, thanks for watching. To everyone else, I hope you catch it on in a later point. We will see you next time. Until then, may the Force be with you.